Welcome back. Time now for Motorsports Monday. A week after NASCAR generated a lot of buzz around racing the streets of Chicago, the series hit the high banks of Atlanta Sunday night. A packed house for the Quaker State 400 from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Atlanta is now in year 2 of a new configuration which features high banking that makes the track race similar, very similar to Daytona and Talladega, and this style of racing does not disappoint. Dale Earnhardt Jr. said during the broadcast that he would recommend this new Atlanta to any fans out there that have never been to a race before. To some of that racing now, the Fords dominated Stage 1, and Penske's Ryan Blaney was able to hold off Kyle Larson for the narrow stage win in what was a thrilling first stage. Rain was in the distance, so the intensity really turned up in the final laps of Stage 1 and for all of Stage 2. Remember, they only have to get to halfway for the race to be official should rain move in. This high-intensity racing somehow staying caution-free until Alex Bowman gets loose and takes out Denny Hamlin, bringing out the yellow. This causes Stage 2 to end under caution, leading to a tough strategy call for all the crew chiefs. Do you pit and get much-needed fuel but lose your track position, or do you stay out and bet on the rain moving in before you run out of gas? Well, it was a split decision with many of the teams at the front electing to pit, with several drivers hoping to win and get in the playoffs, taking the risk and staying out. A.J. Allmendinger, Michael McDowell, and Eric Jones led the field to the start of the final stage, and all three looking for their first win of the season. William Byron, though, would play spoiler to all those drivers searching for the ticket to the playoffs. Byron takes the lead just before a wreck brings out the caution, and the skies finally opened up. They would never get back to racing, and Byron picks up his 4th win of the season. The top 5 from this one: Daniel Suarez made a hard charge late to finish 2nd. Near Cinderella stories, A.J. Allmendinger and Michael McDowell finished 3rd and 4th, with Kyle Busch finishing 5th. NASCAR heads to the Northeast to New Hampshire Motor Speedway this weekend. On the local side of things, Lake Cumberland Speedway was one of the only local tracks in action this past weekend, and it was Fan Appreciation Night on Saturday. Jacoby Hines won the open-wheeled modifieds, Chase McWhirter won the super stocks, and the final feature of the night ends with Jeff Watson winning the pro late models class. Rain ended up postponing the rest of the classes there Saturday night. This coming weekend is a huge weekend for local racing. Ponderosa Speedway is hosting the World of Outlaws late models on Friday night with a $15,000 purse. Kentucky's baddest bull ring should be packed for this one. Not the only track in action either. Rockcastle Speedway is in action on Saturday night for the Tommy Lanham Memorial. 6 series in action, and there will be fireworks. So 2 straight nights of great action here across the Bluegrass. Ponderosa Speedway there in Junction City, and then of course Rockcastle Speedway there down in Rockcastle County.
Boy, we have a pretty robust car situation going on here.
We do, yeah.
I didn't even realize it until you started Motorsports Monday.
Yeah, there are a ton of tracks. Ponderosa's kind of been off for a couple weeks, and they're coming back in a big way. $15,000 purse, that's a lot of money that some local drivers can win, and having the World of Outlaws late models will be great there as well.
You know, you were mentioning the Atlanta Speedway. Wouldn't you recommend, I mean, for new people to the sport too, you got to have the headsets,
Oh,
right?
yes, you got to get a headset.
You're not into
the
strategy yet.
Yes.
You don't, you know, like you were saying, do we pit? Do we stop and get fuel? Do we keep going?
And you can hear all that taking place.
Right.
It's not like in football where the coaches and the players communicate, but you can't hear any of it. There, you can actually hear every word that's said unfiltered between the drivers and their teams, which is pretty cool.
Not skimping on the headsets next time.
Yeah, definitely.
Gotta have them.
We have a local kind of near us, Bristol's coming up at the end of the summer, so if you do want to head to a race, Bristol's a great one to go to.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, Dylan.